Hello again everyone, and welcome back again for another video. For today's fun little project in my messy workshop, we're going to take this Arcade1Up Countercade and we're going to stick a computer inside of it. Today's video is brought to you by Ace PC. Ace PC is a manufacturer of mini and USB stick computers that perform as well as their desktop counterparts. They're made for smaller spaces and smaller budgets and perform quite well in emulation. Check out their website to see some of their other offerings, and for a link to the computer being used in this video, just check out the description below. Alright, so I started disassembling this and just kind of test fitting a couple parts here and there. I'll have a ways to go on this, but basically what I'm doing, like I said, I'm going to put a PC in this. I'm using one of these. This is a little mini PC. If I wanted to, I could just leave this in here like that, but I'm not going to. I'm actually going to take this out of its casing and just put the plain motherboard in there. These things are nice, but they tend to run a little bit hot, and that way it just kind of exposes that fan out there to keep this thing a little bit cooler. But another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hole right here for a coin button, and I'm also going to put another hole right here for another button, and that's going to be for a hot pursuit button. What this Pac-Man arcade's going to be is actually all kinds of variations of Pac-Man. If you look up there in the corner, you'll see a link to a video I did showing some of the different versions of Pac-Man you can put into a arcade cabinet, and that's actually what I plan on doing with this one. I'm not going to put, I don't think anyways, any other games except for the Pac games like Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Junior Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, and all the other various hacks of Pac-Man that I can scramble together. Now, some of these are going to be ran with HB MAME, which is, I don't think there's a Linux port, and even if there was a Linux port, I wouldn't use it anyways because I'm not a fan of Raspberry Pis. I can't stand Raspberry Pis, quite honestly, for arcades. I like them for other things, but that's why I want to use a PC. Got a little more power there. I can run HB MAME. The loading time will be a lot better, and I can basically customize it a little better, and the attract screen that you'll see to select games will look a lot better than what a Raspberry Pi can give. So what I'm going to do now is, like I said, I'm going to drill some holes in here and here, and let me do that and then we'll come back. Okay, just to show you a little bit of progress here of what I've done so far, let me turn my light on a little bit brighter. Down at the bottom here, you can see I put a new graphic on here, and oh, my light went out. Battery must be low. Anyways, I put a new graphic on here, and I put a button down here and a button right here. This is going to be my coin button. This is going to be my exit button. Up here, I put another button that I mounted up here. This is going to be the hot pursuit button, or basically the button that, to speed you up, like when you're playing Super Pac-Man. And then plus like I had mentioned before, I'm going to put a different version of Pac-Man in here. It has the hot pursuit. And I actually happen to be a right-handed player, so isn't my son. So we actually prefer our button on the left. So this actually works out really well. And I'm probably going to put some stickers right here. I got some one-player start and two-player start there. But I don't know. I might leave it too since this is there. That looks all right. But so far, it's looking pretty good. Now, I haven't gotten to the computer yet, but we'll get there. First things first is I want to get my control panel down the way I want it. Now, you don't see something like an admin control or a pause button on here. I was thinking of drilling some holes here, and I could do that if I wanted to. Put a couple more buttons right up in here. I guess we'll have to see. Let me turn this to the side here so you can see this a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, and I apologize because my battery light on my battery's dead. Battery's dead on my light. I can't talk. I got another flashlight here somewhere. Here we go. Wait, I got a bright one here. This one should work. 1 second. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'll point it right here to point it out to you. This is a real low profile button that I'm using there. That way it doesn't bump into this other button right here. And then same thing down, let me tilt the camera here, down here with this button. Also another little low profile button. Now it's kind of, these normally will get like screwed in with one of these, and that's kind of a tight fit. I tried screwing it in and it kind of bumped there. So what I did, and you can kind of see it, is I put some hot glue down there around the sides of the button to keep it in place. And you notice how I have it positioned in there with the wires going off to the sides. That way, when I put my wires in, they're not going to interfere with the joystick button there. Now, as you can see, I also changed out the joystick. I put a sandwa in here. So I'll have to rewire that, of course. And let's see, speakers back in. I put that back in. Now I'm actually going to be using 2 speakers in this, but I'm going to do kind of a little thing with that, and I'll show you that as we progress along here, to take advantage, hopefully, if I have to do some testing here with my my multimeter. But I want to kind of still use that stock volume button switch, and I will be using this. This is pretty easy, but I kind of have an idea for this and how to use this with those speakers and still control the volume. But we'll see if that works as we go along. But that's what I wanted to show you here for now, besides my messy workstation. But let's cut the scene and go to the next one. Okay, so this next modification I want to show you is actually a pretty simple one that you can do. What I did, if you can see them, I put some hinges on this thing. That way, when I'm on the back here, I could just take it, open it up like that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little latch on there. I'm actually kind of copying a guy that I seen on YouTube that did this. He was a little sloppy when he did his, but I thought it was an excellent idea to put a little door on there, and so I'm gonna do exactly like he did and put a little door on mine so that I can open it up if I need to access this, and it would be a lot easier than screwing and unscrewing it all the time. So that's that. I'm gonna put a latch on it next. I got it here in the box somewhere. I gotta find them. But all right, that's that scene. Let me cut to the next one. Okay, I'm progressing along. What I did next is I drilled a hole right here, and I put my amplifier in with my volume control right there. So my volume control is actually in the back. And let's open this up. And as you can see, I put my converter board in already. I mounted it up on the metal plate. Now you see this little line right here that's actually kind of thinner right here, the material. That's actually what I did, is I marked it right there so I knew where to go with it, how low I could go. But I put the converter right down here, and then I put the little daughter board right above it right there and mounted that into there using the stock screws. So that looks pretty good, huh? So let's back that up a minute. So yeah, so as you can see, we've got tons of space in here still. We haven't done nothing with the bottom. Now let me take out the computer I'm going to be using here. This is an Ace PC computer. As you can see, it fits in there just perfect. Now I am going to take this out of the case. Now if you want to do this yourself, you don't have to take it out of this, but I'm going to, because these mini PCs, while they are good, they tend to run a little hot. So I'm just going to take it out of the case just so it stays a little bit cooler on the inside, and then I'm going to put some PCB feed on it, and I'm going to mount it in here. And another thing that's going to do, that's going to expose, where is it? Here it is, that little slot right there. This is actually, when I take it out and mount it on the PCB, it's actually going to sit like this. You'll see when I have it in here, because the fan right here is actually going to be up on top, so that it can draw air in from the top there and exhaust it out the side like that. So it should be probably about that high off the ground with the feet, I would imagine, something like that. rough estimate, but the point is that, as you can see, a computer will fit in here, and this is going to be pretty easy to power. Now, if you watch a couple other my tutorials, like which one is it? The one for dummies and cheapskates, part 5. If you watch that, I actually show the PCB, and I'll show that again here after I tear this apart. But as you can see, I'm actually just about done here. I mean, all I'm going to have to do is, plug in my audio right here, plug in my video port, of course, mount this up, plug in my controller, and we're flying and playing some Pac-Man. And that's about all there is to that. So let me cut the scene and we'll go to the next one. So one thing I want to mention here, as I'm putting these PCB feet on this thing, you're going to notice that I'm using some of these. What these are is little paper washers in here. And the reason I'm doing that is because when you're putting these on here, I don't know if we can get this on camera or not. See how close we are to some of those wires and stuff? Now, if you're taking a screw and screwing it down, there's a good chance that you can touch some of those connections there. So that's why I'm putting this in here, is to put like a little bit of a gap in there as I'm screwing these down and putting the feet on. Otherwise, you kind of risk burning out this board if you don't do that. So just something you want to keep in mind. And another thing is that the holes here, normally the screws that go in there, like this, these little bitty ones right here, and obviously we're putting in some stuff like this. You might need to widen that hole just a little bit. And what I do is I just take a regular screw that's kind of pointed there, and I put it down in there like that, and I set it on the hole. Kind of hard to do this when I got a camera right here. And I just give it a couple turns just to kind of get it started and kind of dig it out just a little bit. Oops. I ain't going to do it on camera, but I think you get the idea. But yeah, you're going to find these little gaps right there. Just give them a little bit of turn back and forth to kind of widen up that little hole a little bit. And then you should be able to get your screws from your PCB feet in there. So let me cut this scene and we'll go to the next one. Now on this last screw right here, the one that's right next to where the cooler is, you'll probably going to have to take off this cooler like I did, just to get to it there. And again, if we look real close, I think we can get this on camera. We'll let it focus a little bit. You can see all these little circuits and stuff there that you got to watch out for, and that's why it's very, very important that you use that little paper or even plastic. If you can find some of those, I think you can get those on Amazon. Get those little washers in there so you're not getting metal on metal. You don't want to do that. But anyways, while you have this off, you might as well go ahead and change this thermal compound here. I'm going to put some Noctua in TH1 on this. That's because it's my preferred thermal compound. I'm not really a fan of the stock compound that comes with this stuff. So I'm going to get out my alcohol pad, clean this off, put some new compound on here, and finish this off, and then we'll go to the next scene. Okay, we're progressing a little further along. As you can see, I got this plugged in. Let me open up this. And as you can see, the computer is now mounted in there. I'll let you have a better look at that. You can see the power's on it. Let me go ahead and back this up a little bit. Close this up. Flip this around so you can see this. And as you can see, let me turn off that light. We now have Windows. So we got Windows loaded up on the screen here. All it's left to do now is finish up our control panel, install our emulator and the front end, and it's done. But actually, I'm not quite done. I actually ordered a light up marquee for this that should be here hopefully tomorrow. I guess we'll see what is this? Is this Monday? What is this? Yeah, this is Monday. Hopefully it'll be here today and I can finish this up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this marquee to a lit up one, and I'm also going to change the back panel here where the speaker goes, and I'm going to add another speaker in there. Hopefully that'll work with the marquee. I don't know. I've never worked with a Countercade before. This is my first time, but so far so good. Yeah. So let me cut this scene here and we'll go to the next. Okay, I now have the marquee installed, and I also have the secondary speaker installed up on top. And with that light up marquee in there, it's nice because there's really gives you a lot of light in here to see now what you're doing. Let me flip this around real quick here, 1 second. Close this up and turn it around, let you have a look at this. As you can see, it's lit up there. Let me shut off the light real fast. Looking pretty neat, huh? Okay, let's turn on the light. Okay. Marquee's in, like I said. I still got to light up this button right here. I got to plug that in. I got to wire up my control panel. One thing I did notice, though, let me turn off the light again so you can see that. There's a little bit of bleed through coming through right here. Right here. You see that on the screen? And I think what that is, it's light coming through from the marquee. There must be like a little gap in there, so I'm going to have to get some black tape or something and kind of tape that up. That looks a little weird. But let me shut the light back on. Okay. So, all right. Let's go back here to this. Open this up. But yeah, like I said, I got the marquee mounted in here. I still got to put this in here. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this yet. And I still need to straighten out all these wires. I got to wire up the speakers. Here's the front speaker. Here's the top speaker. What I'm hoping to do, you know how up front there you got off, low, high? I think what I'm going to do with that, if it works, like I said, I got to get my multimeter and test this to see if this works, is when it's on low, I want it to go to the bottom speaker, and when it's on high, I want it to go to the top speaker. So that way when you go low, high, you're just going lower speaker, upper speaker, and then the main volume will actually get controlled right here in the back. So you'll actually have a couple different options there with the volume. I think that'll work out rather well. And this, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll put it right here or something. Maybe right there. I don't know. It does work, though. See? Turns everything off and on. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you want to do something like this, is, as you can see, I've got several different 12-volt things here. Of course, I got the LEDs up there. I got this amplifier. I got this computer. And, of course, the monitor converter, which are all 12-volt. You definitely are going to want to run a higher amperage power supply on this besides the stock one. You can use the stock one, but that, I don't know. I think you'd really be stressing it out. What I plan on using is a 12-volt, 10-amp power supply. 10-amp is going to be more than enough to power everything that's in here. And that way I can still use just this one cord to power everything in here. So that'll look pretty neat. But that's it for now. Let me cut this scene. We'll go to the next one. Okay, I did some checking here on the wires. And let's see if we can get this in the camera. You got your blue, your red, and your white here for the volume control. This is actually going to work just like I wanted it to. The red one in the middle is going to be the ground wire. And here's how it's going to work, I guess, to explain this, if you want to try this. on your amplifier, you got your right channel and your left channel, correct? And you got your positive and your negative on each one. What I'm doing is I'm hooking the positive, because you can see right here, here's the positive for the speaker. That one's hooked directly up. The negative on both sides, on the left channel and the right channel, are actually going to go together, because, you know, that's not going to hurt nothing. And they're going to feed in together into this red wire right here. 1 second here. They're going to feed into this red wire right here, which leads into the volume control. On the blue wire, I'm going to lead that one to the bottom speaker, and the white wire is going to feed into the top speaker. Now you see right here, this white wire is connected to this black ground wire here, and of course, as you can hear, I think you can hear. There we go. We do have volume. So if I switch this here, I actually have it set to top, volume's off, and then if I switch it over here, it'll go to the bottom. I don't have the bottom hooked up right now, but it does work. I'll show you that as we progress along. But that's actually what we're going to have then, like I said, on this volume switch here. High is going to go to the top speaker, low is going to go to the bottom speaker, and off will, of course, turn the speakers off. And again, like I said, we got our volume control here. Did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world? So yeah, that's how that's going to work. That's going to be pretty damn cool, actually. So let's cut this and go to the next scene. Okay, just to show you that this is working the way I want it to, let me take my volume switch here and let you see this. Now to show you that, I guess in action here, let me take off my microphone. And here this is. Now, if I go down here, let's wait for the next track to start here. I'm sorry. I got my phone plugged into the back on the inside of this here. Okay. Now you don't hear nothing here out of the microphone, but up on top you do. Nothing there. It's up there. Now if I flip this switch, up here, and up here. And again, up on top. How you going? If I get my dang headset on. So yeah, as you see, I got this working now, just the way I wanted it to. And you know what's weird here is the replacement speaker up on top here doesn't seem like it's very loud compared to the bottom one. And the bottom speaker is actually a smaller speaker. Go figure. I might replace this one, that top one, with a Boss BRS40 speaker, which is usually what I'll put into these things. That one's got a lot more oomph. I'd kind of like the top one to be a little louder than the bottom one, quite actually, but yeah. All right, so let's cut this scene, go to the next one, guys. All right, progressing a little bit further, I just finished the off-on button. Let me back it up here so you can see this. Seeing the monitor kick on, the light kick on, and of course you can hear the amp kick on, and it's playing the music. Another thing I did is I switched around the top and bottom leads so that since this is louder, so yeah, progressing along. Next scene. So I'm just about to start on the control panel, but I'm taking a look at this, and I guess one thing I'm noticing here is This stock screen sucks. It's not very, I mean, Jesus Christ. Why do people buy these things? I actually wanted to change this screen out, and I was going to order a custom bezel thing from Tulsa Arcades, but it looks like they're sold out. I'd like to put a 10-inch monitor in here. I don't know, but just looking at this, let me unpause this. Yeah, this image kind of sucks. Trying to play with my fingers here. Doesn't work out too well with the keyboard. But yeah, I noticed like the color is just not very bright, and it just looks like shit. Not really much you can do about it because, you know, that's just the way the monitor is. You know, I can't really make any adjustments on it, but not really too happy with it. But it does play all right, at least. Yeah, and then another thing that I noticed is I'm getting some sound feedback here, and that's not. Let me stop for a minute and explain why that happens. When you ever get like a buzzing or, you know, like a weird clicking noise or something in your amp, when you have it connected up, the reason that happens is because you have one peripheral being powered by the same line that another peripheral is, and what they do is they kind of crosstalk, and that's why you get that interference. So what I had to do was order some inline filters for this. That should be here in a couple days, and then I could get rid of that buzzing noise. God, that's just annoying. I hate that, but I'm gonna have to do something about the monitor in the meantime. But until then, I'm gonna work on the control panel here, get this wired up, and then this is pretty much almost done. So let me cut the scene here and we'll come back. All right, I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm probably going to end this right here. I'm going to call this done for now. Like I said, I want to change the screen, and I got to wait for the stuff to get back in stock at Tulsa Arcades. For now, though, let me show you this switch, and we'll show you how it is so far. I still got some changes to make with the operating system to make Windows go right into attract mode, get rid of this, and then also get rid of that BIOS thing. That's just a couple of simple changes to make. But otherwise, what this will do, it'll load into Windows. This will all be black. It'll automatically start attract mode. Now, as you can see, that loaded up pretty fast there. Let me go ahead and, as you can see right here, we can go ahead and push that button right there, and that loaded the game. And then down here, there's our coin, and of course our start button. Now let me escape that with the keyboard. So yeah, it's I'm gonna say, you know, like 90% done. Let me shut this volume off real quick, mute that real fast. So yeah, I mean, you seen that I got everything working here. Like I said, I'm just not happy with this screen. This screen looks like shit, and if I'm going to play this, I'm not going to play it on this piece of shit. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you get the gist of this about putting a computer on the inside. Let me turn this around real fast so you can have a look at this. Now, I did change out my amp. Let me get over here. I changed out the amp because that other amp that I had was kind of a piece of shit. So I just put a regular Leppy amp in there, which you can see also fits. But let me pan my camera down so you can have a look here. Otherwise, as you can see, everything else fits in here just fine. I got my computer right in the center, got my amplifier, got my controller board, everything. It looks pretty awesome. So hopefully you learned something here. Like I said, the main thing I wanted to show you is putting a computer in them. I'm not a fan of Raspberry Pis. Hopefully you guys will kind of get the idea and maybe want to do this for your own. Now, of course, I'm only running just one button on mine. Of course, there's different configurations for buttons and stuff. I'm thinking maybe later on, I'm probably going to drill some buttons up on top here on the sides of the speakers, 2 and 2 on each side, put my admin stuff up there. Like pause and control panel and what have you. But yeah, so that's how this little Pac-Man is looking. This is a nice little Pac-Man. Now I wish Arcade1Up would have sold them like this. These would have been pretty neat like this, where you can go and select all these games. But, it is what it is. I'm happy with what I got now, what I made of this one. But I'll see you guys again in the next video. Probably going to be a computer build. I think we're about done with all these damn arcades here. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll do another one. Depends on what comes up. But, yeah, I got some customers to tend to, so I need to clear some room here in my messy workshop and get this damn thing out of here. I'm actually going to set this on the shelf for a little bit until I get the new monitor for it, the new framing for the monitor and the bezel and what have you. So I'll talk to you again later, guys. Have a good one, and bye.